going on, everyone? Back again for another Monday here. Welcome back to the channel. Mike, owner of Axion, here in my home office. Getting on every Monday, so you guys can ask us questions about parts. And yeah, that's mainly why we get on here. Help you guys out, figure out parts for your build, answer questions, shipping, whatever. Just a nice little format to get in here. I know the people that aren't always in here every week probably hear this every week, but we usually get a lot of new people in here, so I have to kind of explain how it works. Just leave a comment in the bottom box. And yeah, we can answer your questions. There's a lot of people that come in every week. They can chime in and ask questions or whatever. And yeah, I guess it was a pretty good weekend. We didn't make Tail of the Dragon, unfortunately. Obviously, we don't have our civics back here, so there's no real point joining. Was going to take the passport. We'll probably take that next year, but next year we're definitely going to be going to the event. It's just a little last minute for us this year because we had just moved to North Carolina, so had to get everything in a row, and then finally we can start. Like most of you know, I travel a lot, or try to anyways, and we haven't even really traveled much this year, so I'm just trying to get everything set up here. It's a lot to do, and but look forward to getting there. It looked like a fun event. Hey, what's up? And yeah, a lot of nice cars. I don't know how many people ended up being the final number out there, but looked like there was probably maybe 100 cars, I guess, from what I've seen online. So I don't know if you guys saw, we posted up, we've got our next batch of downpipes done. So if you pre-ordered, you'll be getting an email this week with tracking. That batch is already sold out, so I'm on to another batch now, so another month to 2 month wait. It's pretty typical. I do have the inlets finally coming out for our 1.5 for the 11th gen and Integra. So those will be shipping 2 to 4 weeks. The basically just the aluminum ones, if you want to powder coat it yourself or just want to rocket aluminum, they're going to be shipping in like 2 weeks. Powder coat still about 4. And I'll take a bunch of nice photos and show you guys what they look like. Obviously, I've already had a professional tuner already look at the scaling on the MAF on the inlet and was approved by Derek. He said it was good work by us. It was easy to tune. So that's definitely a good positive compared to some of the other inlets out there. But yeah. Oh, damn. Well, that's not good. You got the 10th gen Civic disease. I see so many of those on the group just getting totaled all the time. Oh, boy. Yeah, so another busy Monday here in the office. You know, we're still in tax season, so the orders are just crazy right now. I pretty much don't do anything except work 24/7, pretty much February, March, April, May. So looking forward to definitely getting out of the country sometime this year and enjoying a little bit of away time. But yeah, not too much going on. Mike, if you want to hit me up with that question about the brakes whenever you can, and I can answer it to my best. Yeah, I mean, the 9th gen's a great platform. Obviously, we had our 2012 that I bought fresh. Naturally aspirated. You can make about 50 wheel horsepower naturally aspirated with the factory head that comes on the motor. There's only one turbo kit out if you're wanting to turbo that engine. Plenty of parts, very affordable. Bolt-on turbo kit, you can make about 450 wheel horsepower. 330 torque is the pretty much the most you can make torque wise on those factory, or else the rods are going to start shooting out the block. Most power I've seen on that with the factory head is 930 wheel horsepower. So it just depends what you want to go with and what your build stuff is, or if you just want a dependable daily. Or I definitely like the torque on the 9th over the 8th gen, but if you're into that VTEC sound, the 8th gen SI is going to have a way better VTEC sound than the 9th gen does, as there's only one VTEC cam on the 9th gen. Yeah, I mean, I think if you were trying to buy something that would be a kind of rare 9th gen, the 2012 four-door is the rarest SI, I think, in existence, pretty much, apart from special color options. But they only made that body style for 1 year, which is the same body style we have. And then they changed everything on the 13 to 15. So, but I haven't even looked up any 9 gens to see if there's how many are out there for sale or that. But it's a fun car. The GTI is fun too, especially if you got the DSG in there. Super fun transmission. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else is going on. Finally going to send off our 11th gen for the fab work, probably in about a few weeks here. What's up, Joel? Hola. I don't know much Spanish. I can probably read it better than anything. Boiling the brakes. So yeah, probably, I mean, it can be a number of things, mainly due to the brake fluid. So upgrade to some Motul fluid for one. It has a higher boiling point. That'd be the first thing to do. Definitely like the upgraded lines are always a good option. I'm not a big fan of drilled brakes, to be honest. I just like the slotted. The drilled can definitely, if you're overheating, can crack. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is change out your fluid first and foremost. I honestly haven't really worked. So pretty much any 10th gen brake setup will work on the 11th gen. I have to actually spend some time and get some of these parts ported over into the 11th gen section, which I'm slowly going through and making sure they are where they're at. Obviously, when we did the website and changed everything, a lot of stuff kind of stayed or went back to where it was supposed to be. So yeah, I would definitely start with the fluid. It's the cheapest option to go with first. And, brake pads, I like the Hawk pads. But there's so many different types out there. If you're going to do it, do stainless lines too, since you got to bleed everything. But definitely do the Motul. And if you're doing it, also do like the stainless clutch line, since the brake and the clutch fluid are all the same and they're used from the same reservoir. So get it all flushed out, get everything working. Yeah, if you guys don't follow, according to Joel, Joel used to have a really fast Honda Accord and was one of the first guys that pretty much was really pushing the Accord platform, before a lot of other people were. And now he has a brand new Type R that he's modifying, and a couple other things. I don't know. I know he has an RDX and he wants to get another RDX, and he had an S2000. So go check out his channel, according to Joel. Yeah, I definitely recommend a turbo on the RDX, but I recommend the MHI stage 2. Like I said, with you found out too with, going with the Garrett turbo, unless you're really, really, going meth injection and that, the RV6, the PRL, those types of turbos are just a little bit too big for the Accord or RDX due to the fuel system and that. And the MHI just works perfect. It still keeps almost the same factory spool. It's a quality turbo. I think I just read that MHI have actually changed a couple specs on it. But yeah, I love the the MHI Stage 2. It's a fantastic turbo. If I had a Type R or a Integra Type S, I'd probably go with the RV6. Obviously, because I would probably end up trying to build the thing for like 600 horsepower, so that would probably be a better route to go for a drop-in. But with the RDX, yeah, I mean, it's still my favorite turbo, and obviously Andy Klein's running that turbo, and Alex Gleach has the record now with that turbo. So, and they have like literally thrown everything they can at that turbo, and they're still running fine. So, seems to work pretty good. But yeah, if you guys want to go check out his channel when you're done here, go check it out and watch a couple of videos. I've known Joel now for maybe 5 years, probably 5 years or so. So, and the fact that he's running a 9-second time in his S2000 in Colorado is pretty impressive. The FL1's just sitting right now. The car's just sitting in Arizona, and I'm waiting for the place that does all our fab work. They moved their business a couple months ago into a bigger warehouse, and they were actually kind of behind on cars. So I kind of told them, look, like when you guys are ready to take on the car, just let me know, because I'd rather it just sit where I have it stored right now, and then go over to them when they can actually physically work on it and then get it out over here. So I think the fab work's going to take, I mean, it's not a ton of fab work, but the last fab work we had took 1.5 years. So on our 9th gen. So I would probably say it might take 2-3 months, probably. We've got intercooler piping to do, mounting intercooler, end tanks, mounting the turbo manifold downpipes, wastegate, custom fuel tank in the front bumper, and then a couple front bumper supports, because we're kind of doing the front end more tubular to make it one piece removable, like we did on the 9th gen. So I think it's going to be really cool. It might take them a little bit of time, but we've still got a lot of things that we have to wrap up on the back end, with obviously the engine being built and waiting on the harness for the Haltech. So yeah, the head swap, you can't really run the stock pistons because you'll end up hitting the valves, obviously, because you're running a much bigger cam profile on the 8th gen head versus the 9th gen. So you pretty much, if you're going to do a head swap, you really should just be building up the block. And you need the oil pump, the Type S oil pump. You need to block off the rear stock oil pump location, and using the upper one for the older kind of K blocks. That 9th gen block is pretty much almost the same, but there are quite a few differences. And then you have to block off some oil passages, stuff like that. But I mean, it's the header pretty much goes in there. The fact is, you just really should be building the block if you actually want to make good solid power. But I think there's a couple guys that are making around 300 horsepower with their NA 9th gens. I don't really follow that group too much. I go in there off and on to see what everyone's kind of doing, but I don't really know many people in the group anymore, really follow builds. I only know a couple people in there, and I mean, until our 9th gen's actually running, like, people probably won't even care who we are in that group anymore. First mod you should do is a Hondata on there. And then RV6 downpipe, Skunk 2 downpipe. There's not many left anymore. A lot of companies have ditched making parts for the 9th gen. And then probably now I would say just get the Skunk 2 intake. Acuity was the best one. Well, PRL was amazing when it was out, and then they discontinued that. And then the Acuity one was phenomenal, but they stopped making it. And the Skunk 2 one works with a stock intake manifold. A lot of people will RBC swap. the intake manifold on the 9th gen, which you need like an adapter kit, injectors, and then a custom tune. The throttle body actually sits at a different angle. So the Skunk 2 actually are the only company that have a coupler that actually can take their factory manifold and change it to an RBC style. What's up, Mark? Mark Outram in the group. We got quite a few old Accord guys in here. Yeah, and if you do supercharged, there's only 2 kits, the Craftworks or Merc Racing, which I recommend. We don't sell it, but it's a great kit. A little bit more expensive. Craftworks, I have a lot of guys running kits. You can make up around 410, 420 wheel horsepower with the Craftworks on E85. Yeah, but if you want any more info, just email me. I can kind of shoot you some stuff and see what you're thinking about. Obviously, we know a ton of info on the K stuff, even though I kind of separated myself from doing that. We still get a lot of orders from people with that. What's up, Ty? Thanks for joining, guys. Make sure to hit the little thumbs up button. I appreciate everyone in here. There's a lot of people that I haven't seen in here for a long time or have never been into the Mondays with Mike. So I really appreciate you all joining. So yeah, just hit me up anytime. I'm pretty much working all day long. Sometimes I can be really busy and not get back to some people after they've kind of messaged me. But usually I'm pretty good about returning information back, especially when it's about orders, and then I always get back to everyone pretty quick. Honestly, the 9th gen didn't really make that much. For me, it has kind of a special place in my heart because that was actually the car that built my company. I kind of took on modifying that car before a lot of companies even recognized it, because everyone was like, you have basically the 8th gen, which had an amazing K series in it, and then it totally got downgraded in the 9th gen, or what most thought was downgraded at the time. It's honestly not that bad of an engine if you want to turbocharge it. It just sucks for NA. So that's the biggest problem with the 9th gen. And I think a lot of companies just really didn't get on board with that car, like, the older K stuff. And you got to remember, they only made it for 3 years. So it was 2012 to 15. So it really wasn't made that long until they ditched into the 10th gen, and then they just made a ton of 10th gen. So, but yeah, if you can get a 2012 4-door, that's the rarest. They only made that one for 1 year. And then they went to what I call the 9.5, which is where they changed the interior and they changed the bumpers and tail lights on the 13, 14, and 15. The one thing that you have to understand is on the SIs, the 2012 and 2013 coilovers are different than a 14 and 15. So make sure you actually, when it comes to suspension, you order the right set for your car. Kind of like the 10th gen, where there's the hatch, the non-SI, the SI, the Type R, they're all different. And mainly all because of the shock diameter where it goes into the knuckle. But yeah, cool. Any questions you guys have, just shoot them in the comments and I'll get to them. Appreciate y'all joining. We're pretty much here every Monday at 8 o'clock East Coast. I don't know how many people saw the eclipse today. We had it here in North Carolina, sorry. And we're about 75%. So it was pretty cool. Fun to watch. But the Earth didn't end like everyone predicted. So oh man. Yeah, did anyone else go to Tail of the Dragon this weekend? Just wondering what some people thought of it. We sponsored the event. I had a couple people reach out that actually won a raffle. So but still have not gone to one. Hopefully we will be going to next year's, especially since a lot of our competition goes. So it'd be interesting if 27-1 went out there. I saw that Unity Performance were there. I think Two Step Performance were there. I think I saw FK8 Tuned was there. Honda Pro Jason was there. So it's definitely a growing event. Hopefully we can get out there next year. I mean, it won't be with one of our cars. Obviously, I'm not going to trailer a car that basically can't be used out there from where we're at. It's about a 6-hour drive. So yeah, that was kind of why I held off on going, because when I reached out to try and get some information, everything was up in the air because of the hotel renovations. So I figured I'll probably plan it a little bit better next year and figure out going based off that. So that's the plan anyways. April's just such a horrible month for me to get away and do anything. I mean, business is just, I wouldn't say it doubles, but it's definitely a lot busier in March and April. And just to kind of get everything and go away for like 3-4 days just completely kills me. So rather take care of the orders here and customers, even though I have other people that can take care of it while I'm gone. It's just, I like having it in my hands. But yeah, it'd be cool to meet a lot of the other people, especially some of the competition that we compete against. It's always good meeting different companies. I get along with a ton of people that compete in business against us, and we have a lot of friends out there. So, yep. Yeah, but as far as parts right now, I'll kind of go over some parts. There's a lot of stuff out of stock, especially Type R stuff, guys. Like if you're wanting to order Type R parts, I would make sure you reach out to whoever you're trying to order from, or even us, because I've had to turn away at least 50 orders today with people looking for Type R parts. So, like I say to everyone, just order, find the best price, order, and wait. Because the longer you go trying to find it, you're just wasting time. So I think if you want a really comfortable coilover, I would definitely look at the TEIN coilovers. They don't do overly aggressive spring rates. Usually pretty comfortable, good ride. Our favorites are the silvers. They are a little firmer, but they're not back breaking like some of the other brands. And they don't have, I mean, when it comes to coilovers, you know, there's certain brands that just outlast the others. Usually it does, and if it doesn't, you can just buy it separate. Like most coilovers don't come with the suspension, the cancelers. The EDFC, if it's the one that's adjustable, I think I have one set on there that are actually, and if they're not on there, I can get them online. I'm still going through adding parts every day. But yeah, if you're wanting to actually change the active suspension, yes, they do have the module where you can do that. I don't know if I have that coilover set on my website. I can add it. I have a team now that works on adding all the parts. It's hard because, you know, I have over 3,000 parts and I forget like what's been added, what hasn't been added. So it really helps if you guys just email me. If you don't see something, email me like, hey, Mike, this isn't on the site. Can you add it? I'll get it added and check if it's in stock. That always helps. Our email is axionindustries@gmail.com if anyone needs it. So you can always email that for questions about orders, parts, whatever. And I pretty much respond within 5 to 10 minutes. So if you wait longer than an hour, it doesn't happen unless it's during the middle of the night. But uh, pretty much try to, I think we probably have one of the best customer service in the industry. Um, I can't think of anyone that really has better. Like I said, I've ordered for years from other companies, and getting some emails back can take quite a while, at least a day, 2 days, 3 days to even get an answer back. So, which for me, I just don't think is acceptable when we have the kind of technology we have nowadays. Just like it's not acceptable for people that get a check engine light and then post online and say, "Hey guys, why is my check engine light on?" Like, it's on there for a reason. Go get a scanner, scan it, and look up the code, and that's your problem. And then at that point, you can say, "Hey guys, I have this code. What does that mean?" But like I always say, use the tools that are provided, because some of us, when we grew up, I mean, I'm a lot older, almost 50. We didn't have those tools. You just figured it out. So a lot of people out there are very spoiled nowadays and don't realize the tools they have to success. So I could probably install on my back a Remark in about 35 minutes. It's super simple. The only thing is the hangers can be a little bit of a pain. Just usually like a crowbar, a long, larger screwdriver. I like to use like WD-40, so I just spray the rubber bushings, just slides right off. You just have the three bolts basically on the front pipe area, and then it connects as you go back. Super simple. Just build it front pipe all the way back, and basically the stock exhaust comes off in one piece. That's probably the hardest because it's so heavy. I'll usually undo the part by the front pipe and then work my way back, because the mufflers are pretty much the heaviest part, and then just take the mufflers off and pull it out. I would say if you've never done it before, it would probably take you 2 hours. I can get them done quick. So yeah, what's up, Mr. Andy Klein? Welcome to the live feed. Man, we got a lot of people in here this week. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and watching. We're close to actually getting paid by YouTube finally. So I appreciate everyone spending some time in here and asking about parts, and hopefully watching the videos that we put on. Even if you just leave it on your TV, walk away, I don't care. I appreciate the channel. I actually had a guy message me the other day, and he said, "I don't understand how your videos on the K swap and 11th gen don't have more views. It just blows my mind." And I said, "Dude, I have no idea. I haven't figured out the algorithm, or I'm not paying to get views." But I mean, it's a really cool project, and I kind of anticipated it would have a lot more views. But I go through YouTube a lot, and there's people on here putting like a simple little short ram on a CVT Civic and taking it for a spin. They have over like 50,000 views, and they don't even know what they're doing when they're installing it. So it's just kind of funny to me. But I guess it is what it is. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I only have limited time, so I don't have all these hours to spend editing videos. I wish I did. Maybe I'll actually hire someone one day. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, 9 gens are definitely fun with a turbo. I've got a video on ours with only 330 wheel horsepower, and I didn't get beat by much at the time, but I had the thing completely gutted. FL5 intakes due in this week, so I'm just waiting on them to land. So if you've ordered, then it'll be shipping. So, oh my God, they keep pushing them off. I haven't got an update from them. Let me actually check on here. Sorry for the bright colors. Let me see. Oh, I haven't got an update yet for the day. So, oh wait, there it is. Turbo Smart. It's still showing 4.7, but obviously you probably figured it out before me. So, that's irritating. Well, I can always reach out and tell them I need to cancel the order. So, Accord mufflers weigh. I don't know the actual mufflers, but the whole catback is probably around 55, 60 pounds, probably. Somewhere in there, maybe 70. Old gens are easy with ethanol because you just change the injectors, and they usually don't have fuel issues like the new cars do. Yeah, just run bigger injectors, get it tuned, and you're good to go. 9th gen pretty much is maxed out around 450 wheel as far as fuel system goes. You might be able to squeak around 500 out of it, but then you have to do a fuel return setup. So basically, there's only a feed line on the 9th gen, not a return line. So basically, what a lot of people do is they'll swap around the pump and the intake housing and use your feed line as a return line, and then you do a custom feed line up to the fuel rail. Damn, 83 pounds, huh? Wow. That's pretty heavy. I knew it would be up around there. Yeah, because most of the exhausts that we ship that are like DCs and that, and these remarks, they average around 55 to about 65 pounds. So controller wise, you just run the Honda. So super easy. Yep. Yeah, the 9 gens are easy. I mean, like when you go back to that, it's like, I mean, some of that stuff is just so basic doing some of these mods, you know. Well, at the current moment, I have 3 Hondas that I own. I have a 2021 Honda Passport all-wheel drive sport. I have the 2012 SI with the J-Swap turbo, and then I have the 2022 Civic hatchback sport touring with the K20 C4, the Accord turbo motor or Type R. Yeah, and I've had tons of other Hondas. Sold our RDX that had 400 horsepower a couple years ago. I sold our Honda Fit that had an L15 swap. I sold that 6 months ago. And I've had countless Hondas. Yeah, I own the Accord Sport. The reason the Hasport mounts exist is because of my car. Yep, I bought an Accord Sport in 2018, and I think I had it for about a year. And I did a bunch of mods to it and then just traded it back in. I only did it just to get the knowledge for the platform. Yep. And the RDX is the same exact setup as the Accord, so there's no difference at all, except for it's all-wheel drive. Same engine, same everything. I think we're one of the first to turbo swap an Accord. I did it with a customer in Los Angeles, and we were kind of figuring out stuff together. I know the guys at GRP, they were the first that swapped an RDX with the Type R turbo. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, but yeah. But yeah, the Hasport mounts exist because my Accord, and it was funny actually, when we did the Hasport mounts, I took the car to Hasport so they could test fit everything. And they were actually putting in the rear mount, and he used like a little leverage crowbar to kind of nudge the mount in, and actually the oil pan cracked. And I actually had to leave the car there for a couple days because they had to order a brand new oil pan from Honda. So fun little fact about the Accord Hasport mounts. It's never really been figured out. I would say 500 probably. I mean, we made 400-ish wheel on ours, and I never had an issue with mine, or it never acted up. So, I mean, it's pretty much the same as the Accord trans, which I've seen, there's 550 out of those. Oh, easily. Yeah, that's what I ran on mine. I think I had like almost 40,000 on my RDX when I got rid of it. And yeah, I was running E30 daily and launching that thing all over the place. I mean, honestly, if they came down more in price, I would love to get one again because they were so fun. It would be a lot better if it had 500 because, but at the time when I had it, they didn't even have the 4-bar map sensor update available for it at the time. So I was pretty much stuck with the power we were at anyways. But yeah, those RDXs are sick. I mean, especially with the all-wheel drive. I never got around to really dialing in the launch with the K-tuner. But yeah, those are Funko Pops all behind me. So those ones and those ones. And there's like sorry, it's like everything's backwards. There's a large Chucky there, an original 1980s Pee Wee Herman doll, and then a original 1980s Alf doll. And that is the Metallica Master of Puppets, like stage 1 setup or whatever. I don't know. All these ones over here are all music, and then these are all like 80s horror and different movies. So, yep. Yeah, it's just my little home office here. So, obviously, it's almost 9 o'clock at night here. So, yeah, Max Speed are the only company that make one anymore for the 9th gen because basically the EPA just told everyone to stop making. So, yep, Max Speed are the only ones that make one. There's a couple other companies that were trying to do it, but it seems like people are waiting like a year and a half for a turbo kit. I mean, honestly, at this point, like if you had time with the car down, oh yeah, that's probably from this company right here. Sorry, Dixon Flannel. Yeah, they're out of Arizona. Yeah, the Ride the Lightning one came out today. So yeah, it's pretty cool. They've been getting into a lot of like different. The reason I got into them, I'm real into like 80s horror, and they use every Halloween they bring out all these horror themed flannels, which are pretty cool. So that's how I kind of got into them, and now they've started getting all the heavy metal and music ones coming out, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I've got here, I'll give you guys a tour real quick. Let me see if I can lift this up real quick. Everything's kind of plugged in, so there's like a real Chucky doll from Child's Play. It's actually from the creator of Child's Play, complete like replica. Harry Potter Lego set. That's a lot of my vinyl stuff. Different Funkos and that everything. I don't know. Yeah. So anyways, you guys get the golden tour of the home office. Yeah. Oh, cool. Damn. It's going to be a good year for you, dude. I can't wait to see what the car runs. Damn. Well, let me know on the turbo. We can cancel that one and get a Garrett ordered. So I don't know if you want to wait much longer. I know you want to get that thing done and get back to testing before the hot weather. So yep. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're going to get there. I don't see why not. I mean, if a front-wheel drive Type R can run low 9s, there's no reason you can't run in the 10s. Oh yeah, the DC5. I see a couple of those things on the 9th gen enthusiast page, and that was like a new kit that he's kind of coming out, but he's doing the Sidewinder, which is honestly kind of overkill for that head. You're probably going to lose a lot of spool from doing a Sidewinder with that type of manifold, but it'll still work. I mean, I just wouldn't go like a massive turbo. Probably a 58 would be perfect. GTX 30. So yeah. But yeah, just be very careful, like buying from some of these like younger kids that start fabricating. I don't even know who the guy is, and I'm not talking bad about his business, but I've just seen from people in the past that have gone into buying something that someone decided they could create for the community, and they didn't realize how much it really cost them to do. So they probably took a lot of pre-orders and then figured out, shit, I just lost a shitload of money, and then just never fulfill the orders. Or it takes like a year to fulfill everything. So, but yeah. They call it a sidewinder. It was from the older Ks. It's just because it swoops over to the side. 9th gen usually is just a very small manifold, kind of right off the head. And then the turbo just hangs off of it. The reason those are really good is the torque is just super fast. Because it doesn't have a lot of flow. You basically have your outlet right there, and it already goes right into the turbo. Kind of like the newer cars are basically bolted right onto the head. So, yep. But yeah, I mean, I kind of kicked myself because I was like, man, I should just get my guys at my fab place to start doing a turbo kit, because I know they can do all of it. But number one, I just don't think there's a lot of money in these turbo kits, unless they're doing huge volume. And a lot of these kids complain there's no turbo kits, but then you make a turbo kit and nobody's there to buy them. So I don't know. A lot of money just to kind of leave out there and hope people are going to end up buying. But it's cool if someone comes out with a turbo kit for it, because I think that kind of year is pretty special, and they make good power bolt-on. Yeah, I mean, that happens all the time. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, like if you wanted to do a project car, go buy a 2nd gen or 3rd gen Honda Fit and do a K swap. Especially like the 2nd gen, they're a little bit lighter, and they're a little bit easier electronically than the 2015. But you can find those for like $9,000, and they're in good condition. And yeah, they're like 300 pounds lighter stock than a 9th gen. But yeah, you would just want to, honestly, you could buy a manifold from RC Auto Works, do some piping, do an intercooler, and have someone fab up the downpipe, and you're good. Yeah, but the 9th gen manifold that comes off is basically, it's like 4 feet long. The downpipe, anyways, is what they call it. There isn't a manifold on the actual, like, off the engine. It's integrated into the head. So yeah, I had a guy the other day hit me up. They wanted a downpipe, and he was going to change it so he could put a turbo on it. I'm like, can't really be done. Oh, man, if you guys have a question, I see about 12 or 13 people are in here. Go ahead and shoot it in the comments. Love to answer it before we get off tonight. And make sure to do a thumbs up. Yeah, that's why we're here, man. Just ask a question. Here to answer anything. I can't say I'm going to know about every single Civic, but I definitely like people getting involved in the chat. And obviously, you can see certain people know each other in here because they keep coming in every week. And, a lot of people have, discovered different people through here. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's funny. Recommendations, just have a downpipe at least, and a front mount intercooler, and obviously a K-tuner. And you need the stay bracket for the Type R turbo. You need the gasket kit and install kit. And We sell it all online, and then you just need to get a custom tune for it. Let me see. P087. Hold on. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, it's either from most likely from your high pressure fuel pump or injectors. So, and in those cars, injectors love to fail all the time. Most likely the high pressure. Yeah, if you need a cord swap, just let me know. I can get you the parts and the links that you need to get it. Pretty much on E30, you're going to make around 410 wheel. It's night and day difference. And it's a great turbo because if you ever decide to try and go more fuel as far as like meth injection, still plenty of room in the turbo. It has very stock spool compared to some of the larger drop-ins. Have a little bit more lag. But yeah, still, like I said, it's my favorite turbo. That's what Andy Klein runs on his. Alex Gleach, who has the record, that's what he runs. We've tried some of the bigger turbos and they just didn't work out. Yeah, MHI will make up to like 530, 550 wheel. And I heard that MHI started changing some of the stuff with their turbos. So now you might be able to see about 580 wheel. So with some of the new MHI Stage 2s that they have coming out. I would go RV6, man. I mean, PLM, I get a lot of people talk shit because they copy a lot of parts. I only like to put on our website the parts that aren't copied because I can't support selling the stuff that's a complete copy. It's just, but I also have to make money. So I have some of their parts that aren't copies. Fitment can be an issue off and on, even though I haven't seen that for a while. But I definitely would go RV6. Way better downpipe. But yes, everything's made in China from PLM. They're a San Francisco-based company, and everything's made overseas. Now, there's a lot of companies that say they're U.S. made. They are not U.S. made. The ultimate goal for most companies is to make as much profit as they can, and that would be getting stuff made in China. But you have to be making a lot of stuff at that point. RV6, everything is made in the U.S. PRL, as far as I know, everything is made in the U.S. Now, there could be some cast stuff that's maybe made in China, which isn't a big deal. But I know they do all their CNC cutting in-house, everything. That's why the quality of a lot of their stuff is just flawless. It's perfect. When you have companies in China, the problem isn't actually it being made in China. The problem is that they're really busy. You have long wait times coming over the water, usually 8 to 12 weeks, if that's even correct anymore. The problem is you have a lot of people that the quality control issues in China are not the best, depending on the factory that's making this stuff. Because basically what these companies do over here is they just go to different factories and they take their CAD drawings and they say, this is what we want, quote it, quote it, quote it. And then they just give it to them and a robot welds everything and makes everything. So sometimes the quality control is not there and parts go out and they're just welded wrong. So that can be the only issue. And also some things in China, like when you get them, the steel could be a different steel. It's not as strong. It breaks easier. There's a lot of things that come into it. In my past job, I used to buy a lot of stuff from China companies, it was the only way our business could even stay in business was to even buy our stuff in China, because the stuff that I used to do before Axion, companies just wouldn't even pay if it was even made in the U.S. anymore. But yeah, these are just things that I've dealt with over 20 years of buying stuff in China and dealing with Chinese companies. I'd be very careful about buying a turbo with the CVT. You're just asking for that thing to go. It's just a matter of time with these things. I mean, like I basically tell everyone, just full bolt-ons with a CVT and call it a day. If you want more than that, just sell the car and get a manual. Yeah, well, the reason PLM's still kind of staying in the picture is most likely they're probably, I don't know how they're financially set up or business-wise, but they probably can get around the EPA a little bit because they're a Chinese company. So that's how they probably get away with making some of these headers and still being able to sell them in the States. Just my opinion. I don't know. But yeah, I find it real hard to spend that type of money, and it's regardless of where it's made, it's more just the quality, so, but man, everyone likes 27.1 parts. So I don't know. I see those on every Civic now. Yep, I sell the Catless on my site. It's been on there since 2012. Yeah, but you got to understand, Dave's also he's got overseas ties. I don't know how they do it, especially in California, having Catless stuff. They sell 10th gen Catless still. So I don't know how they do it, but yeah, Skunk 2 is made in the States and overseas. It just depends on which part. Like I said, the casting stuff, most of it's over in Taiwan. I think Skunk 2 probably got a bad reputation years ago with some of their stuff. I mean, like I said, it's quality control issues. You don't have good quality control issues and a couple bad things get out, you get a bad name. Yeah, our little downpipes are cool. So far, the feedback from everyone that's got one is they love them. I'm surprised I haven't got as many orders as I kind of thought we would, considering they're priced similar to all the other companies. But I also don't think I have a ton out there yet, so not a lot of people are out there like, saying, "Oh, you got to get these ones; these are the best." You'll see, I've got another like 10 going out this batch from people that ordered. So there'll be another batch of people probably posting up and saying they got their stuff. So we'll see. We're trying to make a couple parts that I think are really cool. They're all made here in the US. Not one part is made overseas. If I did ever get anything overseas, it would probably just be flanges, and that would probably be it. But everything else is made in the US and supporting US jobs. So that's also a good thing. And small business. I see a lot of people on here online all day, like buying from different companies. And I'm not going to name the different companies, but some of these companies are just massive, massive, massive publicly funded businesses that basically have just this money making machine behind them. Go out and support some of the smaller businesses if they have the same part and the same price. And I'm not just saying us. There's other great smaller companies that haven't been bought out by these companies trying to squash out all the smaller business in the industry. So make sure you go support small business. That's huge. Yeah. Everything's relabeled now. All the businesses are getting relabeled. Especially, I mean, I've talked to some of the people at this company, but when I have a company literally that I think are a pretty big competition to us, literally steal our videos offline and use them for marketing so they can sell 11th gen parts is fucking disgusting. And a lot of companies do this, which is pretty sad, especially considering they've got millions and millions of money and backing from these private equity firms that keep buying them. Yeah, I keep seeing a lot of 4-piston cams failing. Yeah, map performance, they're one. I know a couple cool dudes that work there and they've apologized to me, but still, nobody really corrected anything there. But yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I see like, and I'll even call them out because I really don't even care anymore because I don't like this company. Hard Motion. Um, those dudes use so many videos that aren't theirs anymore and post them online as advertising plans and pay for advertising with someone else's video. I think it's just fucking wrong. So sorry for the language. I just think it's horrible what some people do and fall for in this industry. I guess anything to sell parts out of mom and dad's basement, you know. A lot of businesses are like that nowadays. So yeah, I'll probably get shit for that one. I actually got a call from the owner from them a long time ago. And I think he was in a group the other day and actually said that I had him blocked. And it was pretty funny because I literally could read everything he was saying. And I'm like, no, dude, like you have me blocked. Oh, yeah. The joys that you guys don't get to follow online. It's pretty crazy. Some of you guys know this stuff because I talk to you privately about it. But, you know, I don't even care half the time anymore what gets out in the industry because it just doesn't matter. But there's a couple people that I see online and it's like, dude probably still owns an RSX and has never bought anything since Honda related, but sells 11th gen Civic parts like he knows what he's doing online. It just bothers me like crazy. Like there's only a handful of good new companies in the Honda world that do parts really good. Two-step performance are really good. There's a couple other companies because they actually have bought like a car and know what they're doing. And so they're bringing you real information. These other people are just straight collecting money and don't really care. That's the way I see it. Yeah, we take Affirm payments already online. We also have Shopify payments. Yeah, 10 money got crazy. Yeah, it's funny. There was a lot of companies like the other company that just drives me nuts and is Redline 360. I like see ads all day long for this company. They literally don't even own a Honda as far as I know. They sell parts for like lifted pickup trucks and Hondas and Subarus. And then I see people that are buying from them. And then I look at the pricing and I'm like, is anyone making any money at these companies? Like they're just giving away shit. Like it's insane. And, you know, you'll see that a lot with these, you know, private equity companies. I don't know if they are, but, you know, they just pay so much for advertising and then they're trying just to kill out all the small business so they can just manipulate the market. Yeah, I don't even know who Redline 360 is. They're out of California. I looked them up the other day. But it's funny because I'll have people that have bought from them and then they come to me and ask me about parts, installing, and what's up with their stuff. And I'm like, well, who'd you buy from? And then they'll either buy from them or someone else, like, you know, some Subaru company, which I always say that one. And then they're like, well, I can't get an answer from them. They don't write me back, but how do I install this? Like, what do I need? You know? And I'm like, this is the reason you buy from a company that actually works on the cars that you have, is because you totally get the right feedback and information. We're not just trying to sell you a part to sell you a part. So that's my little gripe for the day. I don't know. it gets annoying, I guess, because I get so many emails a day talking about this stuff and people asking stuff on these topics. It gets pretty annoying. Part of the job, though. But yeah, for all of you who are in here, there's actually like 20 people in here. If you can give me a thumbs up, that'd be cool on the video. Appreciate the views tonight and the amount of people that have come in here. It's fucking awesome. And every week I try and get in here and we have quite a few people. And then some weeks the conversation goes really good. Some weeks it's just kind of very stale. Obviously, we run out of stuff to talk about every week. There's not new things going on in the Honda world. But yeah. High flow for a 1.5. Well, the only one that passes smog is going to be the two-step performance 1.5. Sell them on our website. They're $900 shipped. But that's the only one that's not going to throw a check engine code. You've got ours also, which has a high flow cat, but you need a K tuner. Just to turn off the secondary O2 sensor. So our downpipe's still another 2-month wait. This batch already sold out. So, but ours is pretty unique. Nobody else makes one like it in the industry. I came up with it just taking a walk one night and was trying to figure out this whole thing with the APA battles. And I came up with this concept of like, wow, how cool to be able to just run a cat on the street. And when you actually go to the track, you can change to catless in 5 minutes. So that's why I did it. So, yep, you're more than welcome to order to get in on the next batch. And yeah. Yeah, I can see if I can get those. I don't know. I got to look and see whether I can actually get stuff like that. The second pipe's the catless option. So you just V-band, undo the clamp, take off the cat, and then throw in the catless pipe. So it's a nice way for people that want to kind of stick with the emissions thing, but still want the extra little power when they go to the track. And, the other nice thing is if your cat ever melts, like some of them do through time from the excessive heat of the turbo, you're not stuck without a car that doesn't run. So you just take out your cat, throw in the catless real quick, and get the other one fixed and swap it out. Cool. Love the thumbs up. Love the hearts. Love you guys sharing. Make sure to check out videos. I got tons of information in all the videos. They're all out there for everyone to watch. So if you guys have any ideas of videos you want me to do, any parts you're like, hey, why don't you get this in and video it? I'll do that. I actually have a new intake kind of concept I came up with. It's nothing new, but nobody really sold it. So I put a kit together online for the TLX and RDX guys. It's kind of recommended for a turbo swap. So checked out the website and thinking about getting parts from you. I actually don't have a physical shop. Typically didn't open one for a reason. I have a warehouse in Arizona, a warehouse here, and do stuff out of the house. And that's just how it's worked since 2009. And I'm just keeping it this way. I don't really want to grow much bigger, obviously, because I enjoy my normal life on top of work, which I already work enough. And I think having part of it at home helps me keep the customer service going really good, rather than a lot of people at 5 o'clock comes, they're just non-existent till the next day. So Carbon, the Prackworks manifolds right now, they're like a 2 to 3 week wait. They just ship straight from Prackworks. I don't have any here. I always recommend people, if you want parts, just email me real quick, message us, ask. That's the best way if you're really, needing something fast. So I get back to everyone pretty quick. So, but yeah, if you guys want to come on next week and ask questions, think of them, write them down till next week. We're here every Monday, unless I go out of town. I'm going to be going to Chicago and that soon. I may be going to see Rich at RV6. So that's at the end of May. So I can do any price matching for the most part. Sometimes it's hard depending on the state. What you guys have to realize too is because we're a little bit smaller, certain states, I don't charge tax. Whereas a lot of the bigger companies have to charge tax in every state. So make sure you look at your final bill when you check out, not just what the thing cost. Because I see a lot of companies now are charging this like extra fee so you feel secure that if your thing breaks in like a few months that you're going to get a refund or whatever. That's totally bullshit. It's just them taking more money from you. You have a warranty with whatever you buy from the manufacturer. So you always want to check out the manufacturer's warranty, because that always goes to the manufacturer. If you guys ever have a broken part of that, it's never with the company you bought it from. It's with the manufacturer. So when you guys check out and you add this extra whatever thing these companies are adding now of like $30, $50, $60 extra to your order, I don't know what you're getting out of that. It's like Tommy Boy when they add the insurance to the fucking brake pads. It's just a pile of shit. I mean, that's what you're getting. So don't overpay for things because you're not really getting anything else out of it. So thanks, Andy. Appreciate it. I try to be fair and honest with everyone. That's just who I am. And yeah. So yeah, if you guys have questions on parts and want to switch over to the dark side, you can go ahead and order online, and pretty much everything ships that day or the next day. So if it's not in stock, I'll try and get it from whoever I can as fast as possible, because we have a lot of connections through other shops I can buy from. Sometimes I buy stuff from Two Step Performance and have them ship for me. It's just how it works out. I'd rather the customer get the parts quick than me make more money. So yep, that's how it breaks down. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I'll be back next week at 8. Hopefully you all can make it. And make sure to check out a couple of our videos. I posted a couple good ones. And the K20 swap in the 11th gen is pretty cool. It's not a long video too. So just go give it some likes or whatever. And yeah, we'll see you back next week. All right, guys, later.